Thank you, sir. I sympathize with that football coach who said if you call the same play 39 times, you're not going to win. I really feel that strongly because I've been involved in Cuban affairs for over 50 years now. I was in the U.S. Embassy when we broke relations. I served in the Cuba desk several times. I ended my diplomatic career in 1982, and I left the Foreign Service, seeing that we weren't going to change the plays at all. I left. And we haven't changed the plays. Now, let me say this. At a time when Cuba was the ally of our principal global adversary, the Soviet Union, at a time when Cuba was trying to overthrow other governments in the hemisphere, our policy made some sense. But that's long since passed. The Cold War has been over now for 20 years. Cuba is no longer trying to overthrow the other governments of the hemisphere. On the contrary, it now has normal diplomatic and trade relations with them all. We are the only country in the hemisphere that doesn't have diplomatic and trade relations with Cuba. That really makes no sense at all. I thought the United States, I thought Americans were supposed to be flexible. They adjusted their policies accordingly. We haven't adjusted this policy at all. I said once that Cuba seems to have the same effect on American administrations that the full moon once had on werewolves. And, you know, that seems to be true, seems to have been true of every administration. We need to get away from this by by lifting travel controls. Let's allow Americans to travel to Cuba. Trade is another thing. We would have to lift embargo. That's a complicated matter, but we should be moving toward it. But the way to begin is by lifting travel controls. Clearly, that's what the American people want. The polls indicate the overwhelming majority of Americans believe we should be able to travel to Cuba. And I travel to Cuba frequently. I have a license, you see. I travel to Cuba, and I talk to, since I've been going down there for 50 years, I do have some friends left, and I talk to people on every trip. I can assure you that the overwhelming majority of Cubans also want Americans to be able to travel to Cuba. They want engagement with us and should have it. Now, again, every country, every Western Hemisphere country has normal diplomatic and trade relations with Cuba. Why can we not move? Why can we not move in that direction? This would not be simply doing a favor for Fidel Castro. It's doing a favor for us. It's allowing Americans to travel. That's what the Cubans want. The more Americans who travel there, the more of our agricultural products the Cubans can buy. So in that sense also, it is in our interest. I simply see no compelling argument against. What do we lose by doing this? I would end by saying nothing.